Breaking news! A new episode of Let's Be Frank starting now!
Hello all! Welcome back to another Tales from Japan, where I talk about Katrina and I's honeymoon to Japan. I've made quite a few videos at this point, talking about all the different things we did, what we got to see, the experiences we had, but this time I want to do something a little bit different. I want to break this concept down even more. I just want to talk about the cool foods we ate, because there were quite a few of very unique foods, stuff I only had over there, and a lot of stuff I don't even know where I'd find here in America, more specifically my small Floridian area. So my plan for this video is just to highlight some of my favorite foods that I got to eat, some of the stranger things I got to eat, and even some things I probably shouldn't talk about, but we'll get to that later, I promise. Regardless, guys, go ahead and leave a like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. This series has been so fun to do, and I've got a couple more episodes in the tank for the future. So if you want to hear more about this trip to Japan, don't worry, I've got more for you. But with all that being said, let's go ahead and start with some of the more normal things. Let's start by quickly talking about something I've already covered before. The amazing food that Tokyo Disneyland and Universal Studios Japan, almost called it Tokyo Universal. It's not in Tokyo. Universal Studios Japan also has. I went into a bit more detail on these foods in their own respective videos, which you should definitely watch after this if you have not already. But the food there was just so different from what we'd expect in America. There was curries and what's it called? They're like noodle bread. I'm going to put the real name on the screen. Don't worry. And all the raw fish you could get at Universal. The food is incredible there, and I really enjoyed everything I ate. There wasn't a single thing I got that wasn't delicious. So if you haven't watched those videos on Tokyo Disneyland and Universal Studios Japan, please go watch those. I guarantee you're going to learn a lot. But one thing I haven't talked about yet are all the beautiful shrines Katrina and I visited. Now that video is going to come another day, but for now, let's talk about the food that was surrounding all these shrines and temples. Well, not all of them, but there were a couple in particular that had rows and rows of different food stands. You could find all manner of seafood, beef, pork. It was incredible. I had so much food. I mean, not that much. I didn't want to spend that much money on food all in one day, but they had some high quality cuts of beef. There was a Wagyu beef stand and everything, guys. It was incredible. Speaking of beef, though, one of my favorite things that I got at one of these shrines was actually beef tongue. Yes, not your typical cut of beef, I know, but it was actually really good. It was seasoned and cooked to perfection. It was a bit tough since it's like one giant muscle, but it turned out delicious. I would get it again in a heartbeat. And paired with that, I got some incredible octopus tentacles. What a meal. Oh, and one more thing before I move on from these shrines. I got some incredible, I can't remember if it was king or snow crab, but regardless, it was amazing crab on a stick that really delighted me, and I can't wait to go back so I can get some more. I would say, though, the place that had the absolute best and most unique foods was Nishiki Market in Kyoto. That market was, I wanted to be my second home, guys. The food there, incredible. All the stalls, full of nice people. There's even stuff there that's not food related. I got some of those Pokemon mystery boxes there that I got to unbox on the channel. This place has the best food. One of the standouts was this octopus, this little baby octopus with a quail egg in its head. And you can see the squid next to it that this guy literally what's it called? He flamed the thing right there in front of us while it was on the stick. This was delicious. I've been thinking about it ever since. I want another quail egg stuffed octopus so bad. But that wasn't even where the good food ended. Again, like I mentioned with the shrines, there was all kinds of amazing seafood. I got more cephalopod, and these were some of the best scallops I've ever had in my life. They were huge. They were huge and juicy. They didn't taste fishy at all. They were full of some of the best flavor. Best is a word I use a lot in this video, but I'm telling you guys, when it was the best, I have to tell you it was the best, or I'd be lying to you. Something I can safely say wasn't one of my favorite things, though, has got to be the sea urchin. When I saw this thing, I knew, yeah, I have to try that. Never in my life have I seen one of these things sold in a restaurant, so I had to jump at the opportunity to try one for the first time. And I'm gonna be honest, it was not my favorite thing. I don't even know how to really describe the flavor. I definitely felt like I tasted ocean water, which, could have just been the fishy taste mixed with a little bit of the salt they put in it. That's fine. I did find that I had to pick some spikes out of that orange inner bit, which didn't like doing, but that shouldn't affect how it tasted. All in all, I just don't think it's worth the price. Sea urchin is a bit more expensive than all the other seafoods you see out there. So I thought it was fine for trying it one time, but will I be buying it again? Nah, probably not. Now, I did mention at the start of this video that we ate at a place that we quote unquote probably shouldn't have, or I probably shouldn't talk about. Now, that's coming from the mindset of an American, not necessarily the mindset of other countries. What I'm getting at here, guys, is Katrina and I ate at a shark fin soup joint at the bottom of a mall, the bottom floor of a mall. Now, I, of course, have no way of knowing how ethically sourced these shark fins were. A lot of other countries will catch the shark, take off the fins, and then release the shark back into the water. And I say release, but that shark's dead. It can't swim. It can't go get any more food. It's brutal. It's not right. It's unethical. But I have no way of knowing if this joint, if this place, was doing things unethically. They could have very well used the entire shark and raised them the same way we raise fish in an aquaculture, like we do aquaculture here in America. I don't know. All I knew was Katrina and I were starving, this place looked good, and boy, was it. I hope you don't get too mad at me saying that. Again, this place could be perfectly ethical. I'm just here to talk about the taste. The soups Katrina and I each had were both really good. They didn't taste like seafood much at all. They had almost like a teriyaki taste to mine specifically. And Katrina's was a bit lighter, but the egg in the middle of it really helped to enhance a lot of the other flavors that were in there. And something I didn't expect, there was vinegar at the side of every place to sit, where it was like a seasoning. It was like ketchup in a diner or something here in America. It was just vinegar. And I put so much vinegar in my soup. It was so good. It added this really tangy flavor that, like I said before, just mixed so well with everything else in the soup. I probably put in a lot more vinegar than what is recommended, but I absolutely adored it. But hey everybody, I think that's going to be the end of today's video. I've talked about a lot of different cool foods today, but if you want to hear a little bit more about some other foods I ate, why don't you go watch this next video about convenience stores Katrina and I went to in Japan. Trust me, these convenience stores are a lot nicer than the ones we get here in America. But with all that being said, guys, once again, thank you so very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, why not give it a like and subscribe if you have not already. Follow my Instagram and Facebook at Let's Be Frank 2020 and follow my TikTok at Let's Be Frank TikTok. Oh, and don't forget, Joachim and I have a podcast. It's called Certified Pokemoments. If you like Pokemon, I promise you, you're gonna love this podcast. All right, everybody, until next time.